when I can't stay inside of my own head, let alone this half-haunted apartment. When I bust down the door into space, when I lie in the middle of the busy road, when I turn my head up to the night sky and I let it consume me. Car honks, the distant hum of punk rock diving out of bars, the sound of stale beer on the floor, warped wood panels, some guy trash-talking football, punchy soapbox manifestos floating down streams of consciousness. Fingers snapping like they're trying to start a fire. The only thing getting laid is bricks. Underground and anarchist bookstores, dreaming of 90s children's television shows, dreaming of 60s communism parties, and why shouldn't they? The flag is torn apart in decades. It's only pieced back together in time. Jills in jackboots, souls in shoes, transient life in constant hearts, wolves in sheep's clothing, Hawaiian shirts at funerals, crowded buses on their 36 hustle, taking the elitist drunks to the People's Republic of Boulder, taking Trustafarians to Denver, Queen City of the Cranes, the dying hunt for empanadas, for streetlights, dripping with light, closing their eyes at 2 a.m., but not tired. For the devil's curly hair, patrolling Cap Hill at 3 a.m. for a pulse, singing improv, ethereal, gutter, moon, chainsaw, garage, dirt, dumpster, surf punk to the dead trees. We made this whole thing up. For the queen bitches on Mars, revealing armor and striptease in unwavering loud truths, vulvas slapped like stickers on masculine walls, calling not for destruction, but reminding the Bukowskis it's getting dark outside. You'd better let your bluebird free. For eyes in round glasses, sporadic jolts of childhood boom, snap, clap, nursery rhymes, driving cow towns over moons and potato anthem stories, reminders that this here is what we have. And what we have is the space to be still. That there is value in alleys that live between banks and bars, like the breaths in Andrea Gibson. Guitars still being played, marches, rallies, protests, strikes, riots, all still being played, Dylan still being played, paint slapped on shirts, on sweaters, and when they ask, what does it mean? We'll say, good question. And when they ask, what does it mean? We'll say, be patient. They'll figure it out someday. Outside the window, there are metric tons of humanity crashing against each other like two oceans thrown together, swallowing entire continents. Our children will eat our mistakes like breakfast of champions. Their poetry will be lethal to hate. As we begin to shrink back into the earth, we will know to look up to them. Our children will never trip on a phone cord. They will grow flowers in the plots of our graves. They will sing in octaves that we've never heard. They won't know industry or need. They won't need to. My hope is they will bloom organic in houses made of opened blood cells. Our children will shine in cheers with love potions. They will see through owls' eyes. They will make each other's beds. Our children will eat at one long table, the longest, wickedest table we've ever seen. Our children will bear witness to our history. Our children will correct our story. They will put us in our paintings and display our failures in public hangings. Our children will reclaim the daytime for the sun. Our children will shatter glass ceilings with fists made of flowers. They will stare each other in the eyes when they communicate. They won't open their mouths. When we die, our children will live, and it will be so hard on them that someday too they will die. Hear me now. Uncork your neck and pour out your spirit. My friends, my sisters, my brothers, I say this to you urgently as a tragic skeleton wrapped in painful comedy. If it is a sign you are looking for, then make your home on highways. I say this to you, my friends, my siblings, my children. I do not sleep much these days, but when I do, I dream of you, and of you, and of you. And I wake up so confused, because if it wasn't for the heaven I huddle around myself, I worry I'd find myself living in hell. So thank you. So thank you to the heavens for existing right now. Thank you, earth, for gravity. Thank you, wind, for levity. Thank you, water, for movement. And thank you, fire, for giving us something to gather around. I say this to you, my friends, my sisters, my brothers. I love you. I love your death, and I love your rebirth. I love your broken womb, your unwashed fire, your 5-course meal of disaster that you offer me on a dirty platter. And I love you not in the next moment, but in this one. I love your wealth and your company and your energy, because I will die poor and tired and alone. We all will die poor and tired and alone. Thank you. Thank you to the warm hand that carries my dead skull home into this half-haunted apartment where I close my door and rest, dreaming of everything.